Good afternoon again, everyone. Sorry it's been a few weeks since I posted last. Life gets in the way and all that. If you watched the previous video, you will have seen how I split audio, drum audio, into MIDI using Easy Bass. Now, I just did it again. It took me about 10 minutes to do this one. I just picked out the kicks and the snares. I wasn't really bothered about the crashes and the hi-hats and all that, etc., etc. Um, we won't hear anything at the moment because I'll show you now. Oh yes, we will. Okay, I've just soloed out our kick and our snare because that's all we're going to be using. The rest should be self-explanatory for you. And if I go to my writing, knock off the master, send. Now we won't hear anything. Okay, go back to routing. Select multiple channels. Like it doesn't, it depends on how many kicks, snare, hi-hat, four toms, 1, 2, 3, 4, overheads, rooms, how many you want. I've just selected 12 for the moment. Okay. And the kick's going out on channel 1 and the snare's going out on channel 2. Okay. We can put him away. We don't need to see him again. I'll create a track for my kick. I'll just name it kick and snare. Okay, we're going to drag a send from our sampler track to the kick track, and we're going out on 1 and 2 on the first channel for this one. And we don't need any MIDI, so we can knock it off. Same again for the snare. Now this time we're on 3 and 4. Okay, and knock the MIDI off. Not really necessary to knock the MIDI off, but just in case you were doing something you don't want the MIDI to propagate through the audio channel. Okay, now let's see if we got a kick and a snare here. We should see signal. There we go. I'll stop it there. Select your kick track, right click on it, go to render, render to mono, and mute the original. Okay. We'll call this guy revision 1 or R1, something like that. Render 1, R1. Here's the MIDI that we were just, it muted itself. So we'll just put that out of the way for a moment and just, that's still there, by the way. Look, you'll still see the signal here. Okay, but we don't need it at the moment, so just pull it away. And we don't need our snare playing either at the moment. Okay, we're just hearing the kick that we just rendered. And it's not very accurate. I don't think some of those kicks are correct. Like I say, I did it really quickly. Perhaps we'll go in depth to another one very soon, where we add in all the crashes and hi-hats and floor toms, etc. Anyway, here's where we are now. Select your kick track, go to item settings, and make sure this is not, there's a little tick here, make sure it's not ticked. That's fine. Once that's out of the way, hit D on your keyboard and it brings up the dynamic split dialog. All transients, pull this down as far as it'll go. and bring this up. Set transient sensitivity. Give ourselves a nice big file to look at. A nice big item. And you see these two lines here. I'll just, okay, you see them? Once the hit is captured, you'll see the split line appearing. So just zoom along quickly. You see this little one here? We haven't captured him. Possibly a ghost note or something. So make sure you pull it down so he's included. I can't see being any others being lower than that. Let's just have a quick look. There's a small one there, but there's a tiny one in here. Look, you see this one? And the split line appears on it as soon as it's captured. So everything between those two lines now hit split. Delete the very first one, this silence at the beginning. We don't need it. We can close this little dialogue here. Select all the items. Okay, you got that? Now, Control Alt X. I imagine it's Command Alt X in Mac, but Control Alt X if you're on Windows, and it brings up your Media Explorer. You can also get that through the main menu. It's already opened in my samples folder, and we're looking for a kick. Let's grab the first kick that we see. If you right click on it and select Insert in Selected Media Items and do Replace Media Source, it replaces every one of the hits with a sample. Okay, now we have two kicks that we can blend together. Listen. Blend it up to where you like it. Now we have the original kick here, and we have kick R1. All right. If you don't like it, you can select all your items, hit Control Alt X, go to kick 2. For instance, do a right click, insert in selected media items, and do replace media source. And it has replaced all the hits with the new kick. Okay, and you can blend it in to your original hit. -6. Sounds about right. Now, as you may have already guessed, you can copy it. Do right click, duplicate track. Now we have two of them. And we call this R2. Make sure all your hits are selected. Control Alt X. Now let's go to like a roomy kick or something, or the room only. Let's see what that sounds like. Right click. And we want to replace media source. Okay. Let's have a listen. Now this is going to be very boomy. and pull it down to blend it in. So we've got our initial kick here from the sampler. You see there's nothing here. This is our first replacement track, and this is our second replacement track. Now you can experiment with them as long as you like. Okay, you happy with that? No, we don't need this guy. We just knock him off a second. So we'll do the same thing with the snare. Okay, let's solo the snare. So I've only got the sampler track soloed and the snare track soloed. So there's nothing here. Right, there you go. So right click on it, render it. And there's our snare. I'll let them out of the way for a second. This one here is our original snare. And here's our new one that we just rendered. Just to point out that there's nothing here because it's being fed from the MIDI sampler. Now, select it, hit D on your keyboard, make sure this is selected. These are at 0 or at their lowest point. Grab the sensitivity dialog. Let's have a nice big media item so we can see where our threshold lines are. These two blue horizontal lines. You see this one isn't selected, so that would have skipped. You need to bring it down. Let's just fly along and see if we've missed any little ghost notes. There's this one here. Let's take it down another little bit. This is flam probably, so let's make sure that's included. Okay, we're happy with that. Hit split. Close this little dialog here. Delete the silence at the beginning. Wheel it back and select all your items. And just to remind you that this is very important, make sure loop item source is not selected. Sorry, I should have right click here to bring up your item settings. Now, Command Alt X or Control Alt X, depending on your operating system, to bring up your MIDI Explorer. And we want the snare. Let's try this one. Yeah, maybe not. Down. Okay. Right click, insert in selected media items, replace media source. And it has just replaced every hit with a new sample. And here's our original guy here. You can blend the two of them together. We'll call this guy snare R1. I'm already on caps, R1. If you want to, you can either do the same thing again I showed you a moment ago, just select them all and bring up the Media Explorer and replace them all, or we can duplicate it. Just select these ones here, Control Alt X, and we'll bring up like maybe a snare room only. Okay, what was a snare room only? 2. Replace all the media items. You see them all changing, and they went to, you see that they went to actual stereo. The room mics are most obviously, most likely in stereo, so we want to hear these two. So you've got your original snare here with nothing being fed from the sampler. You've got your first replacement snares here in R1, and your, we can call the snare room actually. And give it a good old blend. So we've got our original kick here. And here's our kick room, we'll call that room. You can see that's also in stereo. Now, I have to thank Kenny Joya. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Kenny. If I had seen this in Reaper many years ago, I just happened across a Kenny video recently, and this actually blew me away. But go back and watch how I ripped the drums audio. This is Slop from Sono, by the way. This is the drum audio track from Sono, which I ripped into MIDI using Easy Bass. And then we rendered the tracks, and then we added samples to them. And, like I said, I wish I'd seen it a long time ago. My life would have been a lot easier. Anyway, thanks Kenny, and thanks Reaper. Right, I hope you were able to follow along with that, guys. Any problems, any questions, you know what to do. And hopefully I won't leave it as long the next time to make a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye now.